Hello, everybody watching live on a YouTube stream and live on twitch.tv/Vince Russo Live. I am here with the great Billy Bhatti. Billy is from DirtySheets.com. And what is it? Lockbets.com?
Lockbetting.com.
Lotbetting.com. Billy is the guru. Billy is the guy that gets the news first. Billy and I do a show every single week on patreon.com/Russo TWC, a much, much longer version of the show with all the news. This is a little tease that Billy gives you for free to kind of, give you an idea of what's going to be on that Patreon show. So, Billy, you know how we handle this. Where would you like to stick your toe in the water here, bro? Anything you want to talk about that we're going to expand upon on the Patreon?
Yeah, well, I don't know how popular this stuff is, but I think I enjoy it. So sometimes I give out news that I like to learn about. Stuff that came out of the quarter call in relation to where the WWE stands, TV deals, etc. New executives coming in and how happy they are with them. New format for the network. Also future of SummerSlam and where SummerSlam sits at the moment as well and where it could possibly be. So it's very much like business oriented stuff. There is some like story stuff as well in terms of where they're going in the direction of things, but it's more difficult to get at the moment when the company don't know their own direction. So I can't get stuff when they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they have some stuff mapped out for SummerSlam, but that's really about it. How we get there and what they do when they get there. I don't think they know. I think they're looking at the numbers week by week and are trying to put a show together.
Well, Billy, you saw this past week, they tried a lot of new things. And I think what the problem is always going to be with the WWE is, bro, every time they try something new, because of the Vince McMahons, because of the Bruce Pritchards, because of the old guards, everything goes back to really bad, fake, phony wrestling. They just don't know how to do anything, bro, where you think for even a fraction of a second, oh, this is cool, this is real. Everything goes back to wrestling. Shane McMahon has his Fight Club or his Raw Underground. And what are these guys doing? They're blatantly...
We can't talk about Fight Club. That's the first rule of Fight Club, Vince.
Yeah, well, they already broke that rule. But what are they doing, bro? Guys are blatantly working, fake punching, working on a mat with no ropes. And this was their idea of cool and cutting edge. Listen, man, I give them credit for trying new things, but everything goes back to fake, phony, stupid, campy wrestling. What do you think about this concept, Billy?
I don't want to insult. It's weird because I often forget that you're 60. So I always don't want to throw out this term going, oh, it's a old man's version of this. But
that's all right.
It seemed like a 60-year-old man's version of what MMA is and how it works and how it looks and how people would perceive it. It just seemed like the way that they would do it with the girls and the mats and the fake fighting. It was kind of like, it's weird because you caught so much flack for Brawl for All and they decided to come in and do a worked version of it almost like 22 years later, thinking that would move the needle at all. And in fact, we now know as we do this on a Wednesday that it didn't barely move the needle whatsoever. So I don't know how many more random ideas that they have that they're going to throw at the wall. Maybe we'll see Pritchard come out actually as Brother Love in the next few weeks because they'll literally try anything. But I'll tell you, if you want to actually shock people and actually pull the number, that little gang that's outside, have that be a bunch of talent that are underutilized and then have their leader be Vince Russo. That will really stun people if you were under the hood of one of them.
It would be. But again, bro, everything they do, bro, it's going to stink like wrestling. Bro, I did the show with Ben and Stevie yesterday, and I think it was Stevie that pointed out, listen, you and I both like Drew. We're both Drew fans. I thought the promo with him and Randy were cool. But here's the problem. Everything Drew's talking about is real, but when Drew is talking about all the amount of times that Orton should have been fired, okay, bro, they have to tell us what that is. That's the stuff they have to get into. Now, that's not Drew. I mean, Drew's not, Drew's, following the rules. But if Drew is going to say, bro, you should have been fired numerous times, and they're telling him to say that, bro, you got to tell us what you're talking about. That's the shit we want to hear. Did Randy Orton shit in bags? Was it failing?
That's the problem with assumption. That's the problem of having your audience and almost having an awareness that you're down to your core. And now it's almost like an acceptance of that, because they know, they think that we all know. They think and I know that everybody knows that he's shit in the bag, that he had drug problems and all this stuff, and that he should have been fired multiple times. And even at WrestleMania 21, he was intoxicated the night before, which is why he didn't get to end the streak, because he was supposed to. So this is the kind of stuff that he's talking about, but they don't seem to. I don't know why you wouldn't fill in the blanks, because you've gone so deep with Jeff Hardy on the SmackDown side.
Good
so
point.
You may as well fill in the gaps. But I think there's this assumption, almost resignation is a better word, that we're down to our core. So why waste the time of even saying it, because everybody's going to know. I mean, you've only got 3 hours, so you may as well tell the story properly. So, I mean, the issue, until Drew countered with his point at the end, where he said that he was going to take his head off and that he was a prick, etc. I actually felt that I was concerned, because Orton had the better of that discussion, whereas we made the analogy on our show, the Dirty Sheets, where we said that you watch NFL, Vince?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So Drew made all these points moaning about how many chances Randy got, and Randy just blew the argument out of the water and said, I got those chances because I'm so good. It's the comparison as to what would happen if Colin Kaepernick kneels down for the anthem, and if Patrick Mahomes kneels down for the anthem. Patrick Mahomes is a considerably more valuable quarterback than Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick did what he did, and no team wants to take a risk for him. Patrick Mahomes kneels down, any team in the world will take him, because he'll get you to the Super Bowl. That's the difference. And Randy Orton, kind of all that moaning that Drew did at the beginning, Orton blew his point away. It's lucky that Drew had the chance to have that rebuttal at the end and have the final word. Otherwise, that segment would have heavily favored Orton, where he just would have made it look like, yeah, I can do what I want because I'm so much better than you. And it would have ended as fact.
Yeah. What I liked about Drew's performance this week was, bro, there was really a good, genuine intensity. I liked his intensity level this week. His facials were good. But again, it's like, guys, you can't, Vince used to tell me all the time, you can't be half pregnant. If you're going to go there, you go there. But Billy, I think that's a great point. They assume the audience watching this show knows that.
Well, it's interesting as well, that as somebody that knows him, where you picked up on that he was himself and he was more intense this week. That may be down in part to the fact that this is a feud that he's been preparing for a long time. And this was supposed to be something that was going to come around before he was champion. This could have been a Mania program, and then they were decided to put the belt on him. And then at that point, it was something that he knew was coming along further down the line. So even to the point where he asked this week if he knew how aware I was of Orton's history and what was usable, what wasn't usable, because obviously, I mean, this is weird, because even as a person who's inside the business, his recollection of all the stuff Orton got in trouble for was vague, to the point where he said to me, as a dirt sheet writer, which I don't like to label myself as that, but I guess I am. That's probably how he sees me, as somebody that said, hey, can you brush me up on all of Orton's background and whatnot? Is there anything that I'm missing? So if somebody within the company is saying to me, I know he's been a dick, but bring me up to date on all of the actual exact things that he did, then that shows you that your audience may not be in touch with the exact things that he did.
I didn't know. I have a clue. I did not have a clue, bro, because, but all right. So Billy, we got some SummerSlam news on the other on Patreon. We got the call. You're going to have some news on the call. Anything else you want to just tease on what's going to be on patreon.com/Russo TWC?
Yeah, so it's all of that stuff in terms of what happened with the conference call, what it actually looks like and what it actually does mean, because it looks really good, but when you're looking forward, it may not be so great. And especially, I think the proper investors and the proper experts have a good handle of that, and they address that with the questions that they asked Vince afterwards, because with the results that they got, it should have been a more positive conclusion to the conference call. Talk about how Shane came in, not too much about that. As I said, SummerSlam, talking about some booking stuff in terms of where they may go after SummerSlam. And yeah, so talking a little bit more about someone who doesn't officially have creative control, but seems to have some level of creative control, because some people seem to really like that story last time and picked up on it. So we'll talk a little bit more about certain people and their creative and how much of a grasp they have on it.
Well, I want to put over my good friend. Oh my God, I still can't see because of my eye surgery. But my good friend Trav FDY. Trav says, "What's better? You show up on Raw and shoot to the camera and Vince in the ring on how terrible WWE is, or you write everyone has COVID, so Raw is canceled." Wow, that's a toss-up.
I thought Montel Ford had COVID. I thought, God, this is a good real life story, because the Street Profits were off TV for COVID, and then he ended up having food poisoning. But I thought it would have been interesting. That would have been a real weird way to go, a real interesting way to go if he had COVID. So
yeah, bro, they stick their foot. This is what I mean. They stick their toe in the water. Like there was so many examples about this on Monday. There was the Raw Underground. Bro, then all of a sudden MVP is cutting a promo on unsafe working conditions. And I'm like, oh, great. Finally, they're gonna get into this. 1 second later, he turned it right into a wrestling promo. The thing with, oh, bro, Montez Ford is poison. Let's have a match at SummerSlam. It's like they do that shit all the freaking time. And this is where the casuals fans are sitting back, and it's like, what are children writing this show? Like, can you please give us some freaking meat on the bone? Everything always goes back to stupid, ridiculous, campy wrestling, bro. Everything.
I mean, it's worse because I have a child whose attention doesn't get. He's actually just walked in. Hi, you all right? He actually his attention doesn't get. I can ask him why does Raw not keep your interest for the whole time? Why do you?
Yeah, why does Raw not keep you interested?
Why do you now feel like fast forwarding when you didn't used to?
It's just some parts are really boring, but some part, just a little bit of the parts are all right.
What did you enjoy this week?
The underground thing.
Why did you like that?
Because it's something they'd never done before. It's new and cool.
What parts are boring to you?
Like
the Street Profits are boring.
Long matches.
Yeah, long.
Okay, tell Vince tell Vince what Daddy does when a new match starts and he knows what does Daddy know is going to happen. What does he do with the remote?
You fast forward match.
Yeah. What do I do? When the match starts, I fast forward how much?
About half of it.
No, when I say it, you'll know. So what happens is when there's a match that I know is going to go long.
Oh wait.
Oh, here he goes.
When the match is going long, someone goes to the outside. He knows an advert's about to happen, so he fast forwards it.
Yeah, that is totally like paid by numbers. So they have a system, and it didn't take long to work out. I've been watching Raw like this for years. So when they have a match that I know is going to go long, I fast forward to the spot where I see them on the floor, then the advert, then I start watching it.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this, Austin. What do you think about Bailey and Sasha? What do you think about them?
I like them. They're cool.
Tell me why you like them.
No, they're funny. Bailey's funny.
Sasha? Do you think that's it? They're funny?
They're funny. They're good at wrestling, kind of.
Well, it's good. It's good that kids, I mean, Austin, how old are you? 10?
No, 9.5.
9.5. It's good that kids think they're funny. It's good that a 10.5-year-old thinks Bailey's funny because, but that's my problem. It's like,
Vince, Sasha went in the direction this week of the ha-has. You know, like, did you see that she wasn't that kind of heel before?
Oh,
And
yeah, no, she's doing the fake laugh now.
Yeah.
Once they do the fake laugh, bro, you're at the point of no return. Once you're doing the fake laugh, it's over.
He doesn't notice. So I'm thinking that obviously when the audience are bookended by him, see, I'm out of this group of three here. They have you and they have him in terms of demo, but they don't have me.
Right.
And I would be most bothered by that fake laughing, whereas Austin doesn't seem that bothered by it. And people that their assumption is people that are 60 have already been watching this since Bob Backlund was there, and they're just not going to bother turning off. So, I mean, it's just for you, it's just something that you need to tolerate. For Austin, it's just something that he doesn't notice is done. And then for me, which represents the demo that they want, we're going to find other things to do and possibly catching up with it in fast forward. And I don't know how much that registered for them as a rating.
Man, Billy, I saw a great documentary last night, and the way it related to the wrestling business today was phenomenal. And you will appreciate this, bro. Since I was in college, and I can remember going back to like 81, the Go-Go's had just broken on the scene. Okay, bro. So like I've been a really big fan of the Go-Go's. I like the Go-Go's. So there's a great documentary on the Go-Go's, bro, on Showtime. Okay. And bro, I swear to God, this was Wrestling 101. They were right on the cusp of mainstream. Okay. So, bro, their material, they were a punk band. They were a punk band from LA, and they played punk music and went to punk clubs. They were punk. They were on the cusp of making it big. And they started becoming more pop because they knew what they had to do to make it big. Well, the bassist in the group was like, no, like I'm a punker. I want to be in a punk band. We're a punk band. I don't want to go pop. I don't want to go mainstream. And the four Go-Go's turned around to her and they said, do you want to please a very small group, or do you want to be appealing to the world? Do you want to be appealing globally? This is what we need to do to appeal globally. Bro, she left. She left the band. They replaced her with Kathy Valentine, and the Go-Go's went global. This is exactly where we are with wrestling, especially AEW. Why do you want to just connect with a very small fan base and be so limited when the world is your oyster? You can make some changes. You can go mainstream. You can increase your popularity. You can make more money. Why do you insist on staying in this little corner? And, it just blows me away of, just catering to people you already have and not even making an attempt at making more money.
Well, that's the thing. They don't have AEW don't have him because he won't watch it. He's a wrestling fan. He knows Jericho. He knows Moxley, and he enjoys good matches and when they're going on. But he won't watch AEW. Yeah. I can't get him to sit down and watch AEW. There's other stuff that he'd rather do. I think that's his point. And NXT you will watch, won't you? Just about. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch NXT tonight. I can't watch AEW anymore. I just can't. And Disco's been telling me a long time to try NXT. So instead of AEW tonight, I'm going to watch NXT and see what that's like.
It's weird because a lot of people, a lot of other podcasts I listen to always have Dynamite as their show of the week and saying, oh, it's the best show of the week. It's the best show of the week. It's the best stories, the best. I don't see that at all. All I see is a lot of wrestling journalistic bias.
Bro, I'm watching. I just watched the beginning of AEW last week, and I'm like, bro, this is guys jumping on other guys. I mean, that's what it is. It's the stupidest, lowest denominator you can imagine. Guys jumping on other guys. It's just stupid.
Oh, Vince, I can't watch that spot anymore where people
God, bro.
People dive out the ring and then 8 guys fall
Eight
over.
guys fought, and they're all looking at each other because they got to get up in a certain order. So you see them looking at each other. This guy gets up, then it's your turn to get up. Then it's the stupidest thing you've ever seen. All right, Billy, tell them about the dirty sheets. Tell them about locking bets. Give them everything, and then we're going to go over to Patreon.
Yeah, so the dirtysheets.com is right there. That's where I put all my news up first, and then me and Vince will come up and discuss it on here. You can also get a WWE and UFC betting package there, but my main betting packages are over at lockbetting.com, where you can get all of the betting picks for the soccer, MLB, NBA, KBO, UFC, etc., and WWE is included in that. And last month we made, I haven't got the actual figure here in front of me, we made over £7,500, which is over $9,000. That's an unusually big month, because a lot of the stuff that cashed was from the futures bets at the start of the season. What a futures bet is if you bet something at the start of the season for it to happen at the end of the season. So the end of the football season happened and everything that we bet at the start came through. So at the moment, we would have just done the MLB totals and things like that, and that won't cash until the end of the season. And at the moment, the next set of futures that will be coming up is for the next football season and for the NFL season, where we'll be betting on all the divisions and things. My podcast is the Dirty Sheets, and Austin has an Instagram here, Austin's Toys.
Yeah, Austin, show us your toy of the week. Show us a new toy. You got to show me every time you come on, Austin. You got to show me a new toy. Show me something, Austin. I'm a big collector myself, Austin. I love toy. Who is? Oh, wait a minute.
Seth.
I can't make out who that is. I see the who is that? I see the autograph, obviously. Oh, Seth Rollins. Well, I don't think you're gonna. I don't think that's gonna be worth anything. Like Austin,
he signed over his own face.
Yeah.
So
Austin, I think you might have to pay somebody to take that figure off your hands.
This is actually a limited edition one with the two belts.
Yeah.
There's not many of these.
I gotta tell you, bro. Obviously, I'm just ribbing Seth Rollins, bro. I love those toys. Those are beautiful. Those are beautiful toys. I mean, they really are. Show me another one, Austin. Go ahead. What do you got?
Jake Roberts.
Who is that? Oh, Jake Roberts. Yeah, that's nice, man. Yeah, that is nice.
We got all the older stuff back here behind me, because this is my stuff.
There's Brett here.
Yeah, there's Brett.
God, those are so nice. What do they cost, Billy? Like they got to be like at least in US, they got to be at least $30 a piece, right?
No, these at the time, these were only about $12, $13 at the time, these classics. But
in US money?
Yeah, but we are talking back in 2004, 2005 for these classics.
Yeah.
Nowadays, a figure in a big collectible figure like that is about $25 now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're looking at, these two are not signed, obviously, but if you're looking at,
be careful with that foot. Look at him with the foot. He's climbing on furniture like a monkey.
He doesn't care anymore. He's not. He thinks he's fine. So, like these two,
Miss Elizabeth and Savage, yeah, they got to be worth something, no?
Yeah, well, they're newer. So, like, these will cost $20 to $25 new now. Actually, more, maybe even more, because sometimes what these shops do, some certain ones like Liz was only online. So these shops that I won't mention, they can charge a lot more for them. Like I recently bought him a Bray from America because he couldn't wait. A new Bray Wyatt. What's that?
There's Sean. Hold on.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Don't run on that foot. I can stall Vince for a minute. Yeah, I ought to order a new brand new Bray Wyatt's just come out. I mean, and that's the thing, it's just come out and he's been in the company for over a year. The turnaround with this deal with Mattel, it's a story that we've done before where Vince once had a run-in with Mattel, who they've been with for 10 years, because they wanted to create Naomi belts, and she's in the news. And when he realized that Mattel couldn't turn around a glowing toy belt for 11 months, he decided to cancel her push. That was one of the stories that we had. That was it.
Gosh.
That was one of the only times that you ever saw a toy deal interact with a storyline.
And I believe it. There's nothing I don't believe when it comes to wrestling, bro.
That was 3 years ago. It was SummerSlam, around about SummerSlam time. She was getting there it is. That's the new.
Oh, that's the new Fiend. Oh, nice. Now, why are they open, bro? How come they're opened?
He likes to play with them still. He has two of each.
Oh, okay. So he's got one open and one I got it. All
Yeah,
right.
he's getting to the age where he's playing with them less, but he does a Raw Rumble every now and then and stuff. But he likes to make displays too. Like he likes to leave them in a way where, like, you know, like a picture. Like he likes to.
Yeah.
He likes to make a display more so
That's
than.
awesome, man. That's great. He's creative, bro. He's got a great imagination. All right, Billy, we are going to hop over to Patreon. Guys, you want to hear the news? We're going to get into detail. You got a little taste here. Billy put his toe in the water. Bro, join us at patreon.com/Russo TWC. Bro, for the great Billy Bhatti, the great Austin. Get Austin's face in there. Let Austin say goodbye. Austin, the great Austin. Guys, we will see you over on patreon.com/Russo TWC. All right.